Hello everyone and welcome to this new video. I'm Ombra and today I'm gonna show you my tier list about the tankiest troop in the game. This video is only the first about the troop in Rise to War. On that I'm gonna show you the best 30 unit you can use in base of the amount of HP, defense, damage reduction and particular abilities will give your army the maximum possibility of survive. These units are the best for the damage dealer commander cause you want troop with a lot of sustain for your main damage dealer. But first and start with that video I wanna ask you to smash like on that and also subscribe to my channel if you're not already. It's completely free and is the best way for support me. As you can see on this tier list I don't have an insufficient rank. I have S+, S, S-, A+, A- and B+. That cause the unit I select are all decent at least for B tank, cause I select the best 30 of 100 inside the game. The first unit I'm gonna talking about are the Bjornings and I'm gonna place that on A- with a score of 112k of tank capability. Then we have the Berserker with 102k of tank capability, go directly in B+. Next unit is the Cataphract with a score of 127k of tank capability, take an easy place on a A tier. Then we have a tier 2 unit that take a place on a B+, we have the Cave Troll, better than Berserker with 103k of tank capability. Next we talk about Champion, a tier 4 unit with a good amount of tank capability, with 132k take a place on a A+ tier. Then it's the time to talk about the Cold Drake, one of the best units for sustain with 206k take a place on a S+ tier. The next unit of the list is the Crusher and take a place on a B+ with 104k of tank capability. Then we talk about the Dragoon, the best tier 3 cavalry of the Evil faction, take a place on a A- with 111k of tank capability. After them we have the Eagle, then take a place on a S- with 146k of tank capability. I wanna remember you also this unit is the best in terms of initiative, so one of the best unit overall. The next unit of the list is the Ant. Not a lot of people use that cause they are very slow, but in terms of tank take a place on a S tier with 172k of tank capability. Then we have the Field Beast that take a place on a S- on a top of the Eagle, just cause they totalize 100 better than them, but they are almost equal. And also the Field Beast are the second best unit in terms of initiative with only 1 point less than Eagle. Then we have the Great Beast, slightly better than a Champion of about 200. Take a place on a A+, in particular good if you want a tank cause they have a taunt. Then the Guard of the Tower in the top of the Dragoon on a A- tier, with about 200 more than Dragoon, totalize 111k. Then we have the best small tier 3 unit in the game, we have the Guardian on a A+, very close to the Champion with 131k of tank capability. Then we have the Half Troll that take a place on a B+, on the bottom of that with 102k. Half Troll are actually the worst unit of this top 30, but at least Half Troll are inside this list. Then we have the Eel Troll take a place on a B+, between Half Troll and Berserker with 102k. We have the Iron Warrior take the top of the A tier with 130k of tank capability. The Iron Warrior are worse than Guardian in terms of tank capability, so imagine how insane the Guardian are. Then we have the second and the last tier 2 unit of this tier list, we have the Knight on a B+, on the top of that with 109k of tank capability. Now it's the time to talk about Marshal, then take a place on a A tier between Iron Warrior and Cataphract with 129k of tank capability. Then the Mountain Troll take the top of the A+ with 138k of tank capability. Right now the Mountain Troll are the best tier 3 unit in terms of tank capability in the game. The only problem with that is the low amount of initiative, the slow movement speed, and also the fact if you wanna run that as a main tank they are good cause they have a taunt, but if you wanna run that on a DPS you have a taunt, so your DPS gonna be obliterated for that. They are very strong but situationally. And then is the time to talk about the Mumakil with with a score of 240k of power, take the top of the S+ tier. The Mumaki right now are just the best unit in the game for tanking. If you have an army full of them, you're gonna be insanely hard to kill. The only problem with them is the really high amount of time you need for recruited and also the very high cost. Then we have the Ram Rider take the top of the A- with 116k of tank capability. We have the Ravager take a place on a S- with 144k of tank capability, and then the Ranger of the North take a place on a A tier with 121k. We have also the Snagatrak on this tier list on a B+ with only 102k. They are absolutely not tank unit, they are better for doing damage, but they have enough sustain for be a B+ unit for sustain. Then we talk about the Swan Knight, the best tank unit of the good faction, obtainable from recruiting and not from hiring. With a score of 149k, take the place on a top of the S- tier. The Swan Knight are just too good for be recruitable. They have good initiative, they are so good on tanking, they also have protection for protect the other allied, they are just too insane. Then we have the Vanguard, take a place on a S- with 146k of power, only 100 inferior than Eagles and Field Beast, but with a lot less initiative. Now it's the time to talk about the War Chariot, the best unit of the Evil faction, obtainable from recruiting and not hiring. With a score of 166k of power, take a place on a S tier. The War Chariot are actually the best unit for tanking outside the 3 hired unit on a top. They have also a pretty decent amount of initiative, and with the bleeding can also remove a lot of stacks, so have tank capability, very good initiative, is not an hired unit, and also have utility. Absolutely deserve to be in a top 3 unit of the entire game. After them we have the Warlord that take a place on a A tier with 125k of tank capability, and then we have the Woozaunter on a B+ tier, just a bit superior than Snagatrak. It's crazy to see a ranged unit on a tank tier list even if they are on a B+. This is my final tier list about the tankiest unit of Lotr Rise to War. I like to see the meta in terms of troop are pretty fair right now, cause yes, the top is Mumakil and Coldrake, but the good faction have also the Swan Knight, really solid, have the Eagle, really solid, and have the best tier 3 small unit, the Guardian. So yes, maybe the top of the top are evil, cause you have Mumakil and Coldrake, but they are very expensive and you cannot run always them. I like also to see some tier 2 unit on this tier list. I hope this video gonna help everyone to determine what to run on the field for be stronger and have more positive trade on the battle. I also hope you like this video. If you like it, just smash like on that and also subscribe to my channel for a future content. Let me know in the comment what you think about this video and also what kind of content you wanna see in the future. Like always, I wanna remember you I have also an affiliated link with the game that you can use for buying gem from the official site of the game, and if you use that, the devs gonna recognize me a little commission on what you spend. Again, thank you for following me and see you in the next. Woo!